In 8 women's events so far, they've won 6 gold medals, but the whole world is not celebrating with China at the moment. Neil Brooks won an Olympic gold medal for Australia in 1980. A lot of his friends that he competed against are here at the moment, and a lot of the coaches that have been around the sport for many, many years, Neil. What are they saying about the Chinese success?
It's pretty blunt and straightforward, Bruce. They think they're cheating. They think they're on drugs.
Well, what can the world do about it? Because there's a feeling of disillusionment here, and it could spoil the championship.
Well, the thing is, they don't race internationally like a lot of other countries, so they don't get scrutinised as much. They have no random drug testing within their own organisation, and it's just got to be sorted out because it's spoiling the sport.
I know you spoke to David Hallar. We're about to take that interview in a moment. What are his credentials?
He's one of the most creditable coaches in international swimming. He's coached on an international level for over 20 years, coached in Asia for 6, and world champion, Olympic champion Duncan Goodhue is in his stable, so he's a very well-respected man in the world of swimming.
Well, David Hallar is the current British head coach. Neil asked him about the Chinese situation.
Well, unfortunately, world swimming is of the opinion that they're not doing it just purely on hard work, that they are getting assistance through old East German methods. And recently 4 swimmers have been picked up for drug abuse, and that does raise a question over their performances here.
When you talk about, when they talk about drug abuse, how do they do it? I mean, we just say anabolic steroids. What kind of programs are put in place? Are you familiar with any?
I'm not familiar with it at all. All I know is that it can enable you to train much harder, recover quicker, and then train again harder. And consequently, your training and your fitness and strength increases dramatically.
For me, looking at them physically, they look to be superior. I've never seen athletes look that good from just hard work and weight training. How do you feel about that?
Well, the difference is, to me, I mean, I've seen these Germans and the Chinese are very, very similar to them. But the critical question to ask is, where are the men swimmers? If their training program is so sophisticated, which they claim, and they take various Chinese medicines, which I'm sure do help, where are the male swimmers? We've had one male swimmer swim here, and I think he was something like 25th in the men's breaststroke, and that's it so far.
Where does this leave the sport then? I mean, Jenny Thompson the other day sat out and said, when Olympic won the gold, I won the silver.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. If anyone does great swims here, even in the male, we're getting rather cynical about the whole sport. They've got to be on different this or different that. And it's a sad thing that the sport, people aren't recognised as champions in their true worth, rather than everyone thinks, well, they've got to be doing something different to be a world champion nowadays. And that's a sad thing.
I think the Chinese are on drugs. Do you?
I think that the 4 drug tests that proved positive obviously indicate that they are doing that.
Do you believe then that talking about the Australians, the Americans, other European countries will eventually come back on top of the Chinese?
Well, I said yesterday, before the competition started, that they can be beaten by someone who is technically superior and is very well conditioned. Because they're not technically that good. They're very, very strong swimmers, the Chinese. But I would say that the 2 winners yesterday, Van Almsik and Samantha Riley in the breaststroke, were technically far superior, and that's how they beat them.
So you wouldn't expect a Chinese male sprinter to come up and knock Alexander Popov off?
No, there is one here, I believe, and he's quite a reasonable swimmer. But, with men's swimmers, you don't need that sort of strength that the drugs will give a young lady. Young ladies have got the strength of young men, but we don't need weightlifting strength in men's swimming.
What do you say, as a coach yourself, what do you say to someone who's got a bronze behind 2 Chinese at the World Championship?
You're the best in the world. And that's the same. We had 6 British swimmers during the 70s and 80s, girl swimmers, who would have won world or Olympic titles, but were beaten by East Germans who were on drugs. So we know now they were on drugs.
They've come clean.
They've come clean.
For the first time.
For the first time, and we know it. And that's a sad thing. We've had 6 swimmers who were the best in the world, and they never, ever will be recognised for their efforts. And that is a sad indication of the state of the sport.
Neil, was it fair to say that David's comments are a true reflection of the general feeling here?
Guilt edge 100%, no doubt.